here. Okay. And I'm also going live on other platforms. Hey everyone, my name is Ash Shukla and welcome to today's live stream. And today I'm going to talk about the chakra knot ritual to unlock your financial flow. And that's what we're going to talk about is a unique technique that I have been using. And as I talk to you a little bit more, you'll hear a lot more people are using that particular technique. And I'm going to be talking about it in a detailed manner. Now, the question is, what is a knot technique? Like, you've heard of all kinds of techniques. And the question is, what's a knot technique? Now, if you really think about it, and if you stop yourself and you think about, you know, over your lifetime, you've heard of, tie the knot, right? For the marriage, right? Or make a decision, right? What are you doing when you're making a decision internally, right? And my friend, as you're watching this live stream, and as you're watching this with me, I want to say thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you so much, and I love you very much, and thank you so much for being here. And I love that, the fact that you're here. Okay, so thank you. So I'm going to be talking about this knot technique, and just so you know, my name is Ash Shukla. I'm a holistic business consultant, and today I'm going to be sharing my secret on how I attract abundance. And yes, thank you so much for those of you who are here online, and those of you here online. Both of you, I want to say thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you as all of you are here. Okay, and I'm going to be sharing this secret technique today. Exactly what to do. Okay, how do you attract abundance using a simple knot technique? We have all heard about knots, right? You heard about throughout the year when you're making a decision throughout your lifetime. You've heard about making a decision. As you have heard about making a decision in your life, what are you really doing when you make a decision? When you make a decision, you say, you know what, I'm going to achieve this no matter what. And what are you doing inside? You're tying a knot, right? Now the question then becomes as to, what does that do for you? What does that do to you inside when you're tying that knot, right? When you're tying that knot, whichever way you tie that knot, okay, what are you doing inside? You're making that firm decision. But internally, in your energetics, what's really happening when you're doing this in your energetics is that you actually are looking to move forward. You're looking to, do the things that needs to be done. You're looking to help other people in the best way possible. Or you may have your goals, your dreams that you want to accomplish. And I'm going to share with you a simple knot technique. You can take any string that you have, and you can accomplish this particular knot technique. Now, this has helped me accomplish, look, well over 5 figures a month. I'm not saying that it will work. It works for everyone. I do a lot of other things beyond the knot techniques to really help me out, but knot techniques has truly helped me in a big way. At one point I was doing really well. My name is Ash Chukla. I originally came here from India with $20 and no English, and I grew up here in Maryland. And I was in the financial space for a long time. And at one point, somebody that I know very closely, did a number on me, scammed me, and lost a lot of money. And eventually, I went to my grandfather. I asked him questions about, what I told him what was going on. He helped me out, and I literally doubled my business by using simple techniques. And one of the techniques that he talked to me about was the knot technique. Right now, if you really think about it, in your body, in your energetic body, there are seven chakras, seven energetic centers, right? These are hubs for your emotions that you live in, that belongs to us. And these seven chakras, these energetic centers, there are 70,000 nerves, nadis that meet there, and there are 86 billion plus neurons in your body. So what's happening is that your body is actually communicating this internal being that you are, that's communicating internally and saying, hey, you know what, um you know sometimes he says, I'm not so sure if I can accomplish my targets. I'm not so sure. And that the minute that comes in, one of the first things you can do is you help yourself and say, cancel. The minute you have negative thoughts, if you just do this every time this happens, cancel, it will start the process of like really clearing out what's necessary. But the simplest thing that I'm going to teach you today is about the knot technique. You can take any string, doesn't matter, any string. This is a sacred string that I brought from a temple, but you can take any string, okay? You take so what you do is you have goals, and whatever goals you want to accomplish. So let's say if there are 5 areas of life in health, relationship, business, finance, and spirituality. In these 5 areas of life, you can think of one area that you want to accomplish. And I like to think about, I was a financial planner for 27 plus years. So, I'm going to think about money. Okay. And for the sake of argument, you can do the same thing if you like, no problem. So you literally take knot like this. Okay. And then what you do, I mean, a string like this, and then you say your target that you want to accomplish. So, thank you. And you say it as if it has already happened. So you say, thank you so much, universe, as you're tying the knot. Thank you so much, universe, for helping me accomplish a, $1 million goal. Thank you so much. You tie that knot, right? Then you do the same thing again. So you have to say it as if you already have it. Feelings, thoughts, beliefs, actions, as if you already have it. Okay. So the second target that comes into play. You take the second knot. Same thing. Make sure when you take one string, it needs to relate to one target you're looking to accomplish. You take that particular target. Thank you so much for guys for being here. Be sure to like, comment, and share this live stream. Okay, those of you who are here as well, be sure to like, comment, and share. Okay, I would appreciate that, and be sure to follow me because I'm going to share some amazing techniques for you guys. So you take the second knot and you do the same thing. Thank you so much, universe, for the past 1 year. I earn $1 million, right? Not set. Third knot, right? Third knot, same thing. Thank you, universe, for the past 1 year. I earn $1 million. Okay, not set. Thank you so much, universe, for the past 1 year. I earn $1 million. Thank you so much, universe, for this. I appreciate you and I love you for this. Thank you so much, universe, for past 1 year. I earn $1 million, and you can set it up to whatever you like. You can set it up to be $1,000 a month. You can set it up to be $100,000. You can set it up to whatever you like. Thank you so much, universe, for $1 million. Thank you so much, for universe, for the past 1 year. I earn $1 million. Right now, these are the knots that are set. Now, what happens is this particular string that you build, you can actually, either like leave it by your desk, or you can leave it, like some people I know leave it on their computer because they want to bless the computer. They sometimes, people even vary. So if you have a string like this and you make it like small like this, you can actually put it on your hand, like small like this one. Okay. Or you can take the other one that you just did, like a big one even, and you can just put it on your hand, right? Or put it across your neck, however you like it. Okay. And by doing so, what happens is now you have firmly gripped yourself into your manifestation that you really, really want to accomplish. And what does this do, my friends? See, we remember as human beings, in our mind, we create knots, right? So you remember, in the if you take a look at anything that you take a look at, knots are so important because that's what you create. Until now, you've created negative knots. You've created knots in a different, but they're not positive. And what's happened is that you haven't undone those knots, right? As a holistic business consultant, one of the things I love to see is when somebody says to me, like, I have a client of mine, and she came to me and she's like, I'm struggling, Ash, I don't know what to do. And literally, like, she was at $6 million in business, and she's like, I need to ratchet it up to 12 million in 1 year. And literally, by using techniques like these, right? This wasn't the only technique, but techniques like these, she went up to $12 million within literally 3 months. Now, why does these techniques work? Because they're simple and effective, right? Now, is this the only technique you would do? No. When you work with me, when I'm working with you, when I'm helping you out in the best way possible, right? And tomorrow, like, I'm doing a webinar. If you go to financialchakras.com, financialchakras.com, you can actually see a webinar on my website, and you can come to that webinar where I'm going to be hosting this webinar for an hour and a half. So the title of the webinar is Financial Chakras, Abundance Through Alignment. And my friend, I can't wait to show you the inner alignment that you can achieve. Again, the title of the webinar is Financial Chakras, Abundance Through Alignment. Now, why this technique works, right? This technique works because it's simple, is effective, and it is giving you in your body, in your mind. There are actually three highways in your that actually regulates. So what has happened is you've remembered all the bad things in your life, and you have forgotten all the positive things that are happening in your life right now. So what this does is these highways, they have been paved, right? They have been paved, and your car is on it, and your car always drives in the same speed on the same highway, and it sees the same signs of whatever it is that you have been looking to accomplish. And my friend, I can tell you firsthand that as you're doing this, and as you are looking at this very closely, and thinking about it. By the way, I would love to see what are you thinking about as I'm talking about this. Okay, by the way, I'm going on live stream on two different platforms, and I'm loving it so far. But that being said, right, so when you are thinking about this, when you're thinking about your goals and what do you want to accomplish and things like that, every single day, imagine this string is next to you. Maybe you pick it up, if it's next to you on a table, you pick it up and say, "Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you." Right? "Thank you so much. I appreciate you." Okay. This string that you set the knots for, you set the knots on this string, 7 knots. Why? Because there are seven energetic centers, seven chakras, and all of them respectfully need to be, respected in a good way. And when you respect those energy, your energetic being internally, guess what? You get to have abundance that you want. And that's why this 7 knot technique actually works really, really well. And what I would love for you to do is do the knot technique tomorrow and give me some idea as to how you're feeling. Okay. Give me some idea how you're feeling. And tomorrow, like, in my webinar, I'm going to be discussing more details about, the webinar is about financial chakras, abundance through alignment. And I'll be hosting it tomorrow from 9:30 to 11 Eastern time. And it's on financialchakras.com. So financial, chakras.com. And you can visit that website, and you will find a free webinar or masterclass, and you're most welcome to come. Okay. Now, the reason this knot technique is so crucial is because it represents, and when you do 7 knots, it represents each chakra. So your root chakra is, like, sometimes you don't feel safe, sometimes you don't feel secure, sometimes you feel like, oh my god, you live in a fear or anxiety or worries and things like that. When the first knot goes in, right, it begins to say, hey, you know what, you're okay. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is fine. You're going to be taken care of. It's perfectly okay. Right? So it's as simple as that sounds. As simple as that sounds. Try it. Try it. I have another client, who came to me, and this person owns a wellness center, and literally with, she using techniques like this, it really, really helps. Does it, so some people ask me all the time, it's like, Ash, like, does this work for me every single day, every single time? And you know what, like, different things work for different people. But I will tell you, for me and for the people I've been working with, it helps. Why? Because in your mind there are three highways in your energetic self. It's called visual, auditory, kinesthetic. And as you are doing this, and as you are talking to the universe and saying thank you and tying the knot, you are actually engaging on a normal goal setting. And if you think about your goals and say, okay, sit down and think about your goals, and you close your eyes and think about your goals, you're visualizing, which is true. And then there might be some music to it, maybe some meditation music or something like that. That's also true. But the kinesthetic piece is completely missing. And when that piece is missing, it's harder to accomplish targets. And that's why these knot techniques work really well, because it engages your sensories at all levels. Okay. So that's why my suggestion would be to do that. And be sure to join me on my webinar or masterclass tomorrow for hour and a half from 9:30 to 11 Eastern time, on financialchakras.com. And I would love, love, love to have you. I really appreciate you, my friend. I want to just share a simple message on this podcast today. I just want to let you know that how appreciative I am of who you are, what you are contributing, here and here on this on my platforms. I really really appreciate you. Okay, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you very very much. And my wish to the universe that may it give you all the health, wealth, and happiness that you deserve. And my friend, I would love to hear from you in comments as to what type of topics you really like when it comes to podcasts from financial chakras, abundance through alignment. And as I do more of these podcasts and bring you some unique gifts, I would love to find out, what do you want to learn? What do you want to embark on as a journey? What things you really want to, improve in your life and get better? I would love to know. Okay. With that in mind, namaste. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, and I love you very, very much. Thank you.